Hello, deep thinkers. Welcome to Deeper Meaning Time. This is Thinker Series, Episode 4. And I'm aiming to do quite a few of these per week, whether it's one every day during the weekdays, or if I'm doing maybe every other day. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to try to keep these Thinker Series moving along, and I'm going to try to post more of them and upload more of them so that any of you potential listeners actually have something to do during the day, whether you listen to Deeper Meaning Time on your way to work or while you're working. It doesn't matter, as long as you're listening and you're learning more and understanding more, and you're taking that with you into your future to better yourself. That's the whole point here on Deeper Meaning Time. But so for today's Thinker episode, it's a little brief continuation of Thinker episode number 3. And I had hit gravity as my main topic in that one. But I was relating gravity to magnetism. And so in this quick episode here, I'm going to just discuss real briefly, because I think that magnetism itself is probably worth 2 whole episodes. There's so much information that goes into it. But so for those of you that don't really think much about magnets or how they work, or maybe you've never even considered what a magnet's truly doing, or how they make them, or anything like that. And so what I want to first point out is that magnets themselves, nobody has an idea of where that actual force of magnetism comes from. The magnets that's on your fridge, when you pull them off, there is still that pull that is in between the fridge and the magnet. And people don't know where that comes from. People don't understand that. There's different things you can buy online, such as a ferrofilm, which allows you to literally see the magnetic waves, or the magnetic field around the magnet. And those are really cool. I highly recommend you at least look into some pictures of magnets under ferrofilm, or even magnets under ferrofluid. Those are both really cool demonstrations of what actually magnetism looks like. It's really, really neat. And so the magnets that are on your fridge, those are just your everyday magnets. They're actually not even that powerful at all. And the most powerful magnet, which you could buy online, and they're really not that expensive, are neodymium magnets. And they are, well, for home use, they're some of the most powerful. There are still yet magnets with higher Gauss ratings that you can get, and those are just way better magnets. And something I just remembered that I want to point out. I have a Galaxy S9 Plus, and my past 2 phones have all had, your phone has dozens of sensors, whether you know it or not. There are dozens of sensors in there, and there's a fantastic app that you can get on the Play Store called Sensors Multi-Tool. It's a really fascinating app. It's really cool, and it allows you to single out each of your sensors and use them independently. And one of my favorite is the magnet sensor. You can take the magnet sensor near and around anything that's magnetic, and it will jump on the readings. It even shows you a little graph, and you can see literally how strong that magnet was up near your phone. And putting 2 phones close to each other, you can get a reading. It's pretty crazy. So magnetism is already sort of a weird thing that nobody really understands, and we all barely really use it, except for silly things like your fridge. And we do use magnets to create electricity. So those of you that don't understand how electricity is generated, it's generated using a magnet. And that alone right there, that right there is the start of an entirely new episode. Because the way electricity is generated via magnets is it's done in a destructive manner. And this is something that I want to get into eventually, is the fact that magnets themselves are there's more to them. There's way more to them, and we really don't even use them properly, or we don't experiment with them enough, and we don't understand them at all, even. But so what I want to, just for the thinker episodes, what I want you guys to think about today. If you look up a picture of a nebula or a solar system of any kind, in which a bunch of stars are orbiting a sun, and we're talking about like a zoomed out image that you can get from like the Hubble telescope or things like that. I believe there are. I think that the one of the X-ray observatories up in space has a bunch of pictures of some galaxies. And the galaxy, basically, from the center, from the star, it radiates in a cone, upward and downward. And so, if you can imagine that, think of light just coming from a point of nowhere, and it fans out in a cone upward, and it fans out in a cone downward. When you hold a magnet, a little tiny circle fridge magnet, what's actually going on, and you can understand this by looking at the pictures of a magnet under ferrofilm, is that the magnetism is spiraling upward in a cone. It's also spiraling downward in a cone. And when you relate images of magnets and their fields and how they work, you can put them side by side with these solar systems that look the exact same. But yet, the main theories are, what holds the solar system together is just gravity, or they say it's just the mass of all the objects within it. It's I've got a lot of examples, and I'm looking forward to hopefully. Within the next few months, I'm going to start uploading videos to go along with these podcasts, and one in this, a magnetism episode in particular, is going to be very crucial for needing visual imagery to help you understand that a magnet itself is more than what you think it is. And guys, I just want you to take your day today and really consider how magnetism works all around you. Consider the fact that maybe when you touch something and you grip your steering wheel in your car, gripping your steering wheel, maybe the reason you can grip it is because of magnetism. You can actually ask yourself a lot of questions about magnetism and whether or not it is what's happening and the underlying effect of what's going on around us. It's really intriguing. Magnets are something, and magnetism itself is something that I can go on and on and on about. I absolutely love magnets. So, and another great example, guys, if you go to your local, like a dollar store or anywhere that sells fun little kids' toys, science-y toys, there's a thing called it's called a toroid sphere, is what its actual name is, or a toroid toy. But it's basically, I think the brand that I had got a long time ago was called Revolution Ring or something like that. But it's basically one piece of metal, a band of metal at particular dimensions, and it is welded to the other side of itself, and then it's twisted. And it's twisted in such a fashion that you can smush it to a ring. But the interesting thing about it, and it's a physics toy, is that the ring, when it's in its ring form, it actually doesn't want to be in its ring form. It's actually being compressed into that ring form. It has a state of lower resistance, which it wants to be in, and it will expand outward with just the flick. And it's a great tool to then also look at and be like, magnets perhaps work in accordance with something that you'd have to have one to understand what it is I'm trying to say. And that's what I'm saying. In some future videos, I'll put up some actual visual representations of what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. But so I'm going to leave you guys with that. Just take your day and consider magnets. Consider magnetism. It's very interesting and it's very intriguing. And so with that, guys, keep the discussion going, because that's what Deeper Meaning Time is all about, exploring the endless thoughts and curiosities we have every day, and discovering all the deeper meanings time has to offer. Now, my name's Evan. Thanks for listening.